Hello Scrappy Peeps, Suzanna here today to share with you week 20 in my memory planner. So I have 3 sort of tutorials built within this process video. So I'm going to show you how I made those skinny tag slides that Heidi had in the April Stop the Blur kit. So you're going to cut a rectangle and you want it to be 4 inches wide by 2.5 inches tall. And so you want your pattern to go along the long width of this piece of pattern paper here. And then you're going to score along the 1 1/8 and then another 1 1/8 up from that, which will leave you about a 1/4 inch, slightly more. That'll be the fold. So fold along those lines, and you want that short tab, that short length, to be on the inside. So I'm using 1/4 inch double-sided tape here. I highly recommend when you are making these interactive elements that you use double-sided tape because it is a much stronger adhesive, and you want these things, especially if they're interactive, to be sturdy. So if you were Heidi, you would probably sand that to get a nice crease. I don't like the sanding. I'm more of a clean lines kind of gal, and so I do like the look. It's just not my look. And so I marked the center there so that I could kind of roughly line up my 3/4 inch punch in order to get the hole. And then what I'm going to do is create the little tag that is going to go in there. Now, my addition to this is that I am actually going to have it be a little bit longer so that it folds at the end. So it's 1 inch wide by 5 1/4 inch long strip. And I'm going to fold that at about a 1/2 inch there, and then just copy the top of Heidi's tag so that the circle sits perfectly in that sort of little notch that I created there. And I'm just going to use my trimmer there to be able to cut that out. And the reason that I created that notch, the fold at the end there, is because I know I want to anchor things. I like to be able to anchor my interactive elements somehow so that when you do fold the pages, things don't get stuck and don't flap in the wind per se. And so that is why I have that fold there. I am also going to use that tag end there to anchor that Yes 3x4 pocket card. I used a hole reinforcer from the Sunny Color Collective hole reinforcers, and now I'm using a We Are Memory Keepers hole punch to actually punch the hole in the white piece of pattern paper there. So that is the completed skinny tag pocket, as I'm calling it, aka my anchor for my card. So that is technique / tutorial number 1. Now I'm going to show you another technique. So this is sticker paper, giant 8.5 by 11 size sheet of sticker paper if I had not already cut into it. And so I am going to cut a rectangle 4 inches tall and 3.5 inches wide. So I will have a 4x3 piece of sticker paper that will go into the book that I can write on, which will then be a hinge for the 4x3 or 3x4 photo collage that I have created there. So you're going to score a 1/2 inch from the right side so that you have sticky surface that is then going to create the tip out so that opens from left to right like you would a book. So originally I had printed these pictures so that they would be across, but I didn't like the look of that, and it was not going to be a great transition all the way across where you could see where the sticker paper ended. So I decided I would just cut them and then create my own 3x4, and then I have a full canvas to either stamp on or write on or more decor. I actually had a lot to write. So there are 2 stories to today. This is Friday. There's the front story, which is already typed into the non-photo squares. And that is a day date with my husband. And then on the inside, those photos of us doing s'mores is my second story. And that is for Friday, which will extend up and down the Friday and Saturday block, but I don't really have a whole lot of story for Saturday itself, so it was fine that I was able to do that. So you saw that lined tag from the April Stop the Blur kit. I had once again resurfaced that and thought that I would use that as a tab opener for this tip out, but I had already put my photos down and I didn't want to lift them up because you need a strong adhesive in a memory planner to me, because it is a usable product and it gets a lot of wear and tear. And the more you lift up the adhesive, the less strong the bond is. So this Yes card is going to be a tip up. And so a simple way of doing a tip up is with washi. And I wanted to make sure that that tag top was going to secure the tag, the 3x4 pocket card itself. So I liked the idea of it going up and down because it was exactly the same width as that column of photos there. But the problem is that in a vertical stored book, it more than likely was going to get lost. I've had that happen to me before in a vertically stored similar type thing. And so I decided I really do like it horizontal, and it serves best as an anchor to that card going horizontal. So you can see I used 2 pieces of tape to create the hinge for the 3x4 pocket card, and then I adhered my square photo collage underneath. So these are all the stories for Sunday. I try and line up my stories so that the photo that is in the horizontal space of that day is the storytelling that is relevant to that day. And if it does extend 2 days, like the Friday story, the dominant story is the one that's in, it is the story of the day that it is most dominantly in, if that makes any sense. So what I've skipped over most of here is just me applying these puffy letter stickers for the title to go with Sunday. It is Mother's Day. Now I'm going to work on the photo securer, very technical term for that photo collage on the top right there. So that circle, that flower, is actually a circle from some Bella Boulevard, old Bella Boulevard paper, and I used a circle, a flower punch to create my own. That looks like a daisy to me. So what I'm fiddling with up here in the top left corner is a photo corner, and it's sticky on the back. And so I want to get it underneath the sticker paper. The intelligent thing to do would have been to put it on and then adhere the sticker paper. You will see that I will actually pull this off. It doesn't need two securers or fasteners, and I like that daisy looking thing much better. So I've put adhesive on the bottom 2/3, and I'm using the backing of the double-sided adhesive to just mark where the line of where the adhesive ends so that I can see where that's going to go relative to the little flap that is going to tuck in for that hinge there. So that is tutorial number 2, or technique number 2. Technique number 3 is adding an acetate, we'll call it cover, to a photo collage. So I have a 4x6 piece of printed acetate from Studio Calico. It goes from way, 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 way back when in my stash. And I'm using a 1/2 inch piece of double-sided tape that is, or 1/2 inch wide, that will be the fastener to the photo. I am brayering that down with my bone folder there so that it is a nice strong tack and adhesive. I wish I had thought to do this with the open on the left hand side, so it would open from right to left instead of from left to right, but it is what it is. And so again, there is that tabbed card from the April kit, again thinking that I would use that somehow to anchor and provide a fastener, but no go. So I'm using my double-sided adhesive because of the strength of the acetate to secure this down to the page. And again, this is a Wednesday story, so the top of the pictures, or the pocket, is in the Wednesday block. It does fully extend down to Thursday, but again, I don't have a Thursday story, and so that is perfectly fine. So originally my intent for this Fun Times card, it is a pocket card, is that it would be a tip up as well, but I don't need the space for the journaling, and so I'm just going to secure it down to my planner altogether. My Monday story is, this is my CPR recertification, so me and my crash test dummy, or dumb Annie, or they used to be called Annie's. And so I am putting that in the Monday block there next to the pocket card, because I don't want that white space, sort of, it's a column of space between the photo and the card there. So now we're again putting adhesive on just part of this leaf, and that will be the fastener for this acetate here. So same trick, I'm going to use the spare piece there that will indicate where the end of the adhesive is, and provide that little flap to tuck the acetate into. So I need to have space here to write the story. So my intent is that I am going to put things on the cover of that acetate there. So be it another label, be it that I just print on more sticker paper and put that on top. I haven't quite figured that out. So that is a speech bubble from the this month's kit, the yellow, but it is not going to contain a comment per se. So I am covering up the little bottom part, the triangular part, with home, because my son came home from college that day, and that's what I'm going to write about in the little blurb up above. So I feel like I have some white spaces here that I need to fill in, just add some visual interest to these spaces. That yellow looks like a bullseye in the center of the page, and so I wanted to add a little bit extra to the yellow daisy to kind of soften that. I found that little label there says time for, and I'm going to use my letter stickers from the Color Collective to put in s'mores there. So just little bits and pieces that dress it up, take it to the next level per se. I could absolutely have left things the way that they were, but I like to kick it up a notch. So one of the tricks that I like to do when I'm memory planning is I like to have a similar element on the left-hand side of the page as I have on the right-hand side of the page. So for example, that daisy flower there, you see I had an orange one. I'm going to go back to that. I will return to that, and I will find a way to incorporate that into the left-hand page so that I have more than just the one circular element. There is the circular element that's in the 3x4 pocket card that says Fun Times, but it's not a distinct element like that daisy is. So I do somewhat have a visual triangle of circles in there, somewhat. So I am using the puffy stickers from the Sunny Color Collective collection to put CPR directly onto the photo, and then I will journal to the left of that. And this is where I'm going to deal with what am I going to journal onto for that acetate card there. So I have a few options. This is from 49th and Market from their Color Collective, and I go with the one with a little less pink because I've already got that strong border in the yellow square, so I go with the softer border for the acetate there, but I do cut off the top of this yellow tag here, again from the Color Collective, so that I have a little bit more color, and again to add some visual interest to it. There's no reason I couldn't have left it the way it is, but having scrapped as long as I do have, I like to add a little bit more if I can. There's the simple scrapper, there's the advanced scrapper, and the intermediate scrapper. And I'd like to say that I like to fill the intermediate space. I'm an advanced scrapper, but I fill the intermediate space, literally, in that I like white space, and I like clean lines. But I do like to use a little bit more embellishment than, let's say, the average simple scrapper would. So again, using my double-sided tape because of the wear and tear that these books are going to take, I find you can see that I've got my Gina K dot roller on the right-hand side, but I'm not entirely sure that I've used it at all here. Most of what I'm going to use is my ATG gun and the double-sided tape here, especially things that have double layers, multiple layers to them, or are part of interactive elements. So I wanted this to be more the little tab at the end of my skinny what did I call it? Skinny tag sleeve. I wanted it to be more obvious that it was something that was going to have to be unfolded in order to get the tag out. And so I put that little decorative piece from those. That is from Click Kits? No, not Click Kits. From I'll get there. Hold on. Oh, this is embarrassing. Citrus Twist, sorry. So that is from the Citrus Twist, the grab bag that I got from International Scrapbook Day. So just filling in some of the white spaces, adding a little bit more color. You can see where I've got that half the orange flower, and I have that white space in there in the title, and I really want to fill that because it's a broken space in a way, and I don't need notes there, and so I'm going to you see me searching for things to put in there. I really didn't want more words in there, like nothing titly, nothing that says like fun or something stamped, because there's a lot of verbiage that is there already. So I'm kind of going through mental checklists in my head of what I have, what I can put there as I work on this next element. So this is that tag that I kept shuffling around before, and I am using 1/4 inch tape here. You can see I scored it, and it's more of a decorative purpose at this point. I don't need anything more for Friday journaling. I certainly don't need to hide any journaling. So it's filling a white space, and I know on Saturday that I'm going to put a yellow label there because my husband spent most of the day packing for his 2-week international business trip, which he is on and left on Mother's Day. So these labels are print and metal die cut, so they coordinate with the dies from Ellie's studio, the label dies, and that filled in the space perfectly there. They come in 35 colors, and so I love them. You know I love labels, but I love them even more for memory planning because they serve as a hint of color as well as ability to stamp on them or title things with or journal in. They're just a great multi-purpose embellishment in for everything really, but also specifically for memory planning. So I have NO from notes there, and I want to find something, and I will find something that will cover that up. So that is going to wrap it up, my friends. The rest of it is stamping and just titling that I do with my stickers, and just takes way too long and way too much brain power to film. This is a long enough video as it is. So enjoy the close-ups. Thanks for stopping in today. I hope you're doing well. Come back again soon. Take care.